Representing.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man, ain't nobody worried about that Michigan Wolverine shirt.
Hey man,
They'll
you
fall
better be
back.
worried about it.
They'll fall back into oblivion. Ain't nobody worried about Michigan Wolverines.
Well, right now, until we get to Oblivion, see what it say. Okay.
Michigan did that thing, man. Congrats on your
Mm-mm-mm.
second national title since World War II.
Whatever. Is what have you done for me lately?
What up,
That's
Juice
what I got to
Man?
say about that.
What's happening?
What up, fellas? Y'all know what it is. Just no sports show. Y'all know what it is. Just no sports show. We back at this thing. Got a little enthusiastic message from my boy Dre Lindell. He said, "I know the doc and the producer and Just No Sports Show going to run a Super Bowl show, so here we are. Y'all know what it is. We doing this Facebook Live thing right now. We ain't had no production on no Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. So I ain't even gonna give y'all that rundown. Producer, capital PRO. That's right, the producer. But we finna get back to producing, and that's just what that is. What up, fellas? I see we got some AFC Championship and NFC Championship predictions. Right, what y'all think about this Super Bowl? Like for real, for real. Give me the ins and outs. What y'all got going on? Anybody jump in there? Let's make it pop.
I feel like it's gonna be a defensive clash, but I also feel like it's gonna be an offensive clash too. I think they got the spread at 27. Was it 27 or 47? 27? 47. 47 total points, right? I think it's gonna be more than 47. I really do, man, because I don't think I think the defense gonna hold for a little while, but I think they gonna both bend. They ain't gonna break, but they gonna bend enough to get them points up there. I think it's gonna be a live game, honestly, because they got offense on both sides. Both sides know how to move the ball up and down the field. Purdy is no joke. I know people have been clowning Purdy and whatever you want to say about the man. This man is Mr. Irrelevant, and he's got his team in the Super Bowl, and you can't argue with that, man. Those are facts, and they take care of the ball. They got two great wide receivers. They got a running back that can run the ball. They have a leading weapon. So Kansas City has a pretty good defense. We saw what they did to Lamar Jackson in his run game, and their running game completely got wiped out. So we shall see. But like I said, I feel like it's going to be a good offensive game too.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I kind of feel like it's going to be go in spurts. You know what I'm saying? Defense is going to be locking it down. Offense is going to break through. Then you're going to get the offensive runs and everything as well. So I think it's going to be a back and forth game, but I think it's going to have some lulls in there where the defense is really holding it down and making it pretty hard and pretty difficult on both of these offenses. But they're both high-powered offenses that can score at will. So it's going to be a good matchup, man. I think it's going to be one for the record books.
Yeah, guys. I went back and looked at the 2020 Super Bowl when these two teams faced each other. 49ers had a chance to win it, but as we all know, Jimmy G couldn't make the throw. But this time around, I think Brock Purdy's. I think Brock Purdy is a much better quarterback, and he's got all the weapons that he needs to get it done. But I've been overlooking the Chiefs' defense all year. Like they've just been wreaking havoc on everybody they've played, and the 49ers defense they don't look as strong as they've looked in the past. So I'm giving the edge to Kansas City because they've hit their stride on offense and their defense is great too. So I got the Chiefs winning it. What you got, Don?
I know what Greasy gonna say.
Well, my analysis of all this is I'm a firm believer in Super Bowl history. The Cowboys faced the Steelers in the 70s within a 10-year span or a 5-year span. And then we had the Bengals facing the 49ers in a rematch. All these are rematches. The rematches within these spans, they don't fare too well for the second time. But I was told to go with history tonight. I was told that, and Dallas and Frisco are the tales of two cities. Dallas 5 Super Bowl victories, 3 Super Bowl losses. Frisco 5 Super Bowl victories, 2 Super Bowl. Give me the Chiefs, baby. Give me them goddamn.
Oh,
Give me the Chiefs.
in a surprising move,
Give me the
Reeves has
Chiefs.
picked the Chiefs. He has gone against Bang Bang Niner Gang.
I'm all about history, baby. When you see that paper on the wall, it says political science. It doesn't say anything else. Give me the Chiefs in history.
Wow, he's going with the Kansas City Chiefs. So look, before I jump into my predictions, y'all noticed that the Green Bay Packers were losing to the San Francisco 49ers were losing to the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round, right? And they were also trailing in the NFC Championship against the Detroit Lions. Give me a second. Let me shake this rust off. I'm going to bring it on home. I always do. So the read on Brock Purdy is if you take away his first read, which is Kittle, or you key in on McCaffrey, then he's going to struggle and you bring a little pressure. He'll fold. And that's basically what Detroit was trying to do. Aaron Glenn was trying to bring a little pressure. Joe Barry was bringing a little pressure with the defensive scheme for the Green Bay Packers. They took away McCaffrey, they took away Kittle, made it kind of deep for him to hit IU, and they really just don't have that burning wide receiver to go deep. I found that ironic that Brock Purdy beat the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions with his legs, which is something they had in the first place with Trey Lance. But that's neither here nor there. Trey Lance has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. With this particular game, I don't see a shootout. And if it is a shootout, San Francisco is going to lose. It's not going to favor San Francisco. I don't see Kansas City necessarily having the weapons outside of Travis Kelce to be able to keep up. I think if San Francisco scores 27 points, they'll win this ball game. If by hook or crook it gets up into the 30s or 40s, you're playing right into the hands of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. We know Spagnuolo is going to bring the blitz. This is a Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey game. And for the love of God, if you're a San Francisco 49ers fan, we do not want to see the 49ers average 6.7 yards per rush as they did in Super Bowl in 2019. And for some reason, put the ball game in the hands of Jimmy G. A dumb catastrophe. I still can't explain why they decided to do that. If you're averaging 6.7 yards per rush, yeah, by all means, just keep running the ball. With this particular game, I'm going San Francisco 27, and I'm going to go Kansas City 23. That's what it is. I expect to see Kelce outside the numbers a lot. You don't want to run Kelce into Greenlaw and Fred Warner on the inside a lot. That's my analysis on it. He'll make his plays. It's Travis Kelce and Greenlaw and those two inside backers. They'll make their plays. It's a battle of all pros. But where San Francisco is weak at, Ambry Thomas, Michigan, and their cornerback. That's where they kind of weak at. So I expect to see, Kelce on the outside of the numbers, outside the hashes, trying to get some one-on-ones with some of those cornerbacks. Isaiah Pacheco, if it's a downhill game, I don't think Kansas City will be able to handle the San Francisco front four, even though San Francisco didn't get beat up in the run. I don't think Kansas City makes a living of just running the ball with Isaiah Pacheco. Kansas City has some issues on the offensive line. One offensive lineman in particular did not play in the AFC Championship. Baltimore was unable to expose it. I think San Francisco can. I'm going a close one. I'm going a good one for the ages, but I'm taking the 49ers in this one. I was gifted a 1986 Coca-Cola. It's fresh in the bottle, still in the bottle. San Francisco 49ers Coca-Cola bottle, and I'm going to hold on to that thing. So I'm going 49ers 27. Give me Kansas City 23. And that's what that is. I think I had San Francisco and the Jets in the Super Bowl before that catastrophe happened with Aaron Rodgers, but I definitely had them facing off against I had them facing off against Kansas City in the AFC Championship. Baltimore, it is what it is. They're gonna have to fix something. They had it all laid out, and if you don't win that ball game, you got to ask yourself, what's really going on?
Doc, you say you were gifted a 1986 Coca-Cola bottle, correct?
Yes.
Who won the Super Bowl in 1986?
The New York Football Giants.
Who did
Super
they
Bowl
beat? Who did they
Super
beat
Bowl-
in the NFC Championship?
The Washington Redskins. They defeated the 49ers 49-3 in the divisional round.
So why are you picking the 49ers?
Because I think they're a better team this time going around. Kansas City doesn't have the same offense. And I think San Francisco has just enough. And Brock Purdy's making plays with his legs, which we haven't seen until the divisional round and in the conference championship. So I'm going to go with San Francisco based off the strength. They got a little bit better quarterback play. And that if they score 27, I don't believe Kansas City has enough to keep pace with.
Hold on, Greasy.
So let me give you an interesting fact about teams that win in a rematch. Each one of them happened the third time around. Like I said, Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, Bengals. We're not gonna count things that was outside of a 10-year span because you don't have the same players. A la Pittsburgh and Dallas in the 95 season. We don't count that because there was no Staubach, there was no Bradshaw. But this time around, it's the same key players, but just a different quarterback. I think this KC team is just that good. And this is coming from a Raider fan. They find ways to win. Mahomes will always play flawless in these games. We will see what Brady would do. Not Brady, Purdy would do. Even though I would love to see the 49ers win, but history, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Let me throw this out here real quick. Two things. One, I got the Chiefs winning 38-35, but I also want to add this. You saw what they did to Lamar Jackson on the running quarterback. So you would definitely say that Lamar is a way better running quarterback than Brock Purdy.
There's a difference between running quarterback
right,
and
you got running and scrambling. Right. So scrambling, running. I honestly feel like that if they can contain Lamar Jackson, they're definitely going to contain Brock Purdy.
Oh Lord! It come Big E. What you got to say, Big E? Here we go.
And
I'm on that Lamar bandwagon. I told y'all, do not drink that Lamar Jackson Kool-Aid. Y'all drunk it. Now you're not punch drunk, but not a punch, but alcohol in the punch, y'all drink. But come on, Big E,
bro.
come on.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it on the game we talking about. I'm not gonna get back into the Lamar Jackson debate. I just think at the end of the day, Kansas City get enough pressure with their front four to where it's going to already give Purdy enough problems. He's not gonna have time to look downfield, and when he does get that opportunity to look downfield or he tries to scramble, I mean, I think that the Kansas City's defense plays wide and plays fast. You know what I mean? So they get from sideline to sideline. They don't give up a lot of big plays. So. And that's really how San Fran ended up beating Detroit, is because they had made the big plays at the time they needed to make the big plays. And I think Kansas City's defense is going to be a little bit more disciplined in that. So I got Kansas City winning this game. I think it's still going to be close. But I got Kansas City essentially winning this game 31-28.
Oh, check this out too, fellas.
I agree with you,
Hey.
Big E, at 1 point.
You
Frisco
say you did what?
front four won't get any pressure.
That's a good point.
Say what?
That's a good point. That's a good
Frisco's
point. That's a good point.
Front four will not get any
That's a good.
Right. And I wasn't talking about
That's a good
Frisco. I was
point.
talking about Kansas City's front four.
Well,
But
no,
yeah.
my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Kansas City front four will not get any pressure. They will do just enough, to zone up Brock Purdy. But as far as pressure by these D lines, we see Chase Young come over here, done absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Bosa he show up sometime. Outside of Jones on that Chiefs defensive line, it's like, okay, now what?
Well, to me, it's like I said in the very beginning of the season. I said in order for Kansas City to make a run, they're gonna need Chris Jones back on that defensive line. And once they got him back on that defensive line, he was the anchor for that defense going forward. So they're not, although they statistically they compete and they contain when needed. I think at the end of the day, they make just enough plays, which is the example with the Baltimore game. They made just enough plays, even when they were giving up the yardage
Yep.
from
Yep.
case by case situation.
Mhm.
They are disciplined when they need to be disciplined, and they will bring pressure too. So I think Purdy's going to have a long day, but I still think Purdy's going to be the true game manager in a sense. I think Shanahan is going to try to dial up a scheme that saves him from himself. And I think he's going to really rely on his playmakers. But I think Kansas City is going to make them work. So he's going to have to make the right decision every time out in order for San Fran to stay in this game, or it'll be a blowout.
Okay, so the key for this game for the Kansas City Chiefs, tackling. A lot of people are sleeping on the fact that Kansas City is very, very good in man-to-man, which allows Spagnuolo to blitz. If you watch the Baltimore game, you notice that they blitzed pretty much Jackson in the submission. Where the screen plays were for Baltimore, I have no idea. Baltimore led the league in rushing and decided in the AFC Championship they was going to turn into the 84 Dolphins and pass the ball almost 85% of the time. I have no idea where that game plan came from. That's what you hear there. But when you're dealing with Kyle Shanahan, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get wide zone. You're going to get motion. You're going to get wide zone. You're going to get Kittle. You're going to get Kittle underneath, crackback block, wide zone. You're going to get Debo, wide zone, but it's a sweep. You know what you're going to get. And then off the wide zone, you're going to get the play action. You know what it is. Shanahan's been running this since his daddy took Denver back-to-back in 97 and 98. You're going to get that Alex Gibbs wide zone. Kansas City is missing their best pass rusher. If they're going to generate any pressure, Chris Jones is going to have to play in the middle. I don't see them moving him to the outside, especially where he's going to have to face all-pro Trent Williams. Snead is a very good outside corner. He can hold his own against Debo and Ayuk. I think the key for the game, if you're San Francisco, is ball control. You do not want to get in the shootout. So, question, fellas, if you are the Kansas City Chiefs and you plan on blitzing and you're on the other side of the field and you're Kyle Shanahan, how do you counter Spagnuolo blitzing? What's the play? What are we going to do? You know Spags is going to bring the heat. We've seen it. He brought the heat on Josh Allen. He brought the heat on Lamar Jackson. He's the defensive coordinator that brought pressure on Tom Brady, and they ended up being 18-1. He beat Tom Brady twice. Spags is going to blitz. He's not going to sit back and let you get comfortable. So if you're the San Francisco 49ers and you know this coming, is this a Christian McCaffrey game? Is this a lining up Debo? Is it a juice? Is it a use check game? What we going to do? What we going to do? Because you know the heat is coming.
I was going to say some sort of screen, maybe a bubble screen to Debo, or, halfback screen to McCaffrey, or maybe, look for a one-on-one with Ayuk, something like that. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, the blitz is going to bring one-on-one opportunities down the field. So I would use Debo and McCaffrey as decoys on some occasions. I'll get them established with the running game first. You know what I mean, and try our best to get, move the ball with the run game, because that's gonna be the bread and butter for San Fran as far as being able to establish it. Now they don't have to go crazy with it and rush for 150 yards, but they got to be able to run the ball when it counts. If they can move the ball like that, that's going to open up everything else for that offense. But if they can't move the ball, if they can't run the ball, then it's going to be a long day for Purdy. It's going to be a long day for San Fran, because they're going to bring that pressure to where Purdy going to get off his spot and he's going to be making some bad throws downfield.
That's it. I can rock with that.
My thing with this, as far as the pressure, it always comes down to situational football and watching game film. If you're going to bring an inside pass rush on me, and we could check off at the line, I would love to run something outside, just like John Riggins did in Super Bowl 17, and you're going to have one man to beat, and it's usually the safety. If you bring it outside, we're going to run the ball inside. We need to block the outside up and jam you up the middle, and we'll get you like Larry Zonka. in the Redskins against the Redskins in Super Bowl 7. But as far as passing the football on these blitz or just showing blitz, you got to hit a bunch of quick hitters. Whether it's a quick slant in or now, as far as 49ers go, you don't have that big possession guy that you could throw a fade route to and he come down with that snag. And the worst case possible, you have to keep these safeties guessing. Whether you're doing a corner or post corner with a fly route on the outside or a post corner with a corner, you're going to have to keep these safeties guessing on this pressure. And like I said, the 49ers are going to have to seal this line. Not only seal this line, they're going to have to make Purdy and the fellas are going to have to make the right adjustments in the first half and the second half. Taking films. I hope everybody has watched the film for the 49ers to make these adjustments. Because Spags is almost like Belichick. And I stated this in the AFC Championship game. Lamar Jackson will not have a big day because he's a running QB. It's 1-2 bang out the back door. Or he's going to try to slip out the back door. But the best way to get pressure on the QB is up the middle. And like I said, 49ers, quick hitters, no quick outs. That's not going to work. Bubble screens, be careful. Because if the Chiefs are studying Raider tapes, you're going to get burned. And you will get picked off on a bubble screen. Other than that, like I said, you got to keep these safeties guessing. You got to keep them guessing. Got to mix it up. The first 10, 20 plays are scripted. You know what you're going to come out with. But as far as running the football, take the blitz where they want to go. Don't try to redirect them. Take them where they want to go. If you want to blitz wide, take them wide. If you want to come in, take them in. The quarterback needs to have enough sense to take a side step and have a pocket presence to make the throws necessary down the field.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's one thing that I don't really worry about Purdy is he does have good pocket awareness for the most part. I think when he gets to struggling is when he's trying to stay in that pocket too long and he's got to look over them big linemen trying to throw the ball downfield. Yeah. So if he stretches that pocket, he moves that pocket, then he's going to be able to make those throws downfield, hands down. And you were saying they don't have a big play receiver downfield. I'm gonna tell you, a big guy. Well, true enough, big guy, but he's still got some size to him, and I think Jennings might be a difference maker for him downfield. He always seems to come up with those big plays when it doesn't seem like there's a play to be had, right? So I think he's gonna have a solid game, in the Super Bowl as well. And I think it's gonna be a matchup, man. I think we got two great coaching philosophies from an older generation to a younger generation. Defenses are both playing lights out. You got the new heir apparent face of the league and Pat Mahomes, and you got the guy that they want to anoint and Purdy going at each other. So, and you got Taylor Swift. Hey, bro. I'm gonna just say this: at the end of the day, it's about money, and she did generate over $300 million for Kansas City and the NFL with her presence. But
I say this, man. I will be pulling linemen left and right. I'm definitely throwing in a double tight end set. I mean, because at the end of the day, you gotta mix. You're gonna have to take everything and mix it all up in one big pot. You have to throw it all at them, really keep them guessing, like Greasy said. And I definitely would be. I'd have a bunch of pulling linemen, and I'm definitely using a double tight end set. Whether he's in one of the tight ends stay the block, or hell, both of them stay the block. But you got somebody that's really agile too. I would use a tight end over an extra lineman any day. And I want to say this too because I forgot to say it earlier. One thing that none of us have shouted out is that right now Pat Mahomes has a chance to be deemed the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Right now, not 2 Super Bowls from now, 3 Super Bowls from now. We talking about right now. If he wins the Super Bowl on Sunday, he will be better than Tom Brady.
His first 6 years.
How y'all feel about that? Just think
Pat
about
Mahomes
it.
is
Like
that
he
dude.
said, his first 6 years are completely better than Tom Brady.
Do I need to give it to him? Do I need to give it to him?
Get it to him, baby, because we already talked about it.
I'm gonna give it to everybody like this. Me being a big Raider fan, Pat Mahomes and it's everybody else. I don't care if you're Brock Purdy. You saw this with Lamar. Now, Lamar, the Jalen Hurts, all that. Mahomes is in a tier of his own.
Yeah.
Now there are cats that have gotten him, whether it's Allen in the regular season or Burrow in the postseason. So they're nipping at the heels, but Lamar, he hasn't gotten there yet. Do I think Lamar will get there? Yes. You put in the time and the work, and because quarterback is a hard position to play. You have to know where everyone is at on the field at all times. This is not playing receiver, running back, or whatever. But Pat Mahomes is that dude. As far as Brady with the mechanics and this and that, Brady had not great footwork. He had sound footwork. But Mahomes has good footwork and escape capabilities. Mahomes, like most, this is where the game gets confusing. They think Mahomes is a running quarterback. No, he's not. A running quarterback escapes out the back pocket. A scrambling quarterback runs when necessary and steps up in the pocket. And this is Mahomes. He's very slippery, get loose, and we seen this Mahomes match. And I hate that the fact that this guy is in my division, but I'm going to give Mahomes the utmost respect. And I got to deal with this for the next 5-10 seasons. And he's that guy at the end of the day.
So speaking on it, Greasy, let's talk about what we talked about. Him being that guy means what? We're comparing him to the greatest already. So how are we able to compare him to the greatest right now in Tom Brady? How is that possible?
The reason why it's possible because, as with Brady, we take these first 6 seasons and we look at the numbers, we look at the plays, and I heard people that, that was on the Baltimore side say all great quarterbacks throw into the triple coverage. No. All great quarterbacks do not throw in triple coverage when the game is on the line.
Who said that?
I'm going to keep names anonymous. Great quarterbacks do not throw in triple coverage when the game is on the line. They throw the ball away. They do not.
Read those messages, Doc.
All great quarterbacks throwing the triple coverage? No.
Now, when the game on the line, have y'all seen Montana do it? He did it on sprint right option. And when you're in the red zone, you throw it at the top of the helmet. Meaning my guy can catch it or nobody else. But
all great quarterbacks throw in the triple coverage. Who?
I don't even want to put that out there like that, Doc.
Hey, just get the scrolling, bro.
All great quarterbacks throwing the triple coverage. That's one of the most foolish, irresponsible comments I've ever heard in all my years of listening and trying to produce sports content. That's stupid. Not all great quarterbacks. So Patrick Mahomes is indeed great. He is indeed doing his thing, but nobody did it better than the original Joe Cool. Sorry, Joe Burrow, number 16 from the University of Notre Dame. Stood about 6 foot, 205, 210 pounds, soaking wet. I know Tom Brady has the hardware, but if you got one game to save your life, give me Joe Cool. And if it's under 2 minutes, Give me Joe Cool. Patrick Mahomes has it all. He got a stronger arm. He can move better. He can do this and he can do that. But when it's nut cutting time and it's time to win, yeah, you can save all that and you can have Tom Brady. I want Joe Montana. So before I elevate him to being better than Tom Brady, and I'll play the ring game with this one. I don't got time to argue with everybody about why I think Joe Montana is the best, besides the fact that he never threw an interception in the Super Bowl and he never lost.
Say that again, people in the back dock.
Because he never lost in the Super Bowl and he threw 0 interceptions in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to argue that tonight. But I'm going to play the ring game, and I'm going to say that Joe Montana, I'm going to say that Tom Brady is the GOAT. But before we put Patrick Mahomes up there in the category of being better than Tom Brady, even if he wins this Super Bowl, he's already lost the Super Bowl, and he's already thrown about 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl. So with that being said, give me the guy that you're not going to intercept in the Super Bowl, and he's not going to lose. I guess the same thing with the Jordan and LeBron things. You can't have it both ways. LeBron's got 4 titles, Mike's 6-0. LeBron may end up with 5. At the most, he may not. He may be on his way out, but you can't have it both ways. So with that being said, I want to bring up another topic, ladies and gentlemen. Co-host. So we're amongst that time of the year where if you turn to the NFL Network or if you turn to ESPN Classic or whatever, you will see Super Bowl starting back from Super Bowl 1 all the way to the Super Bowl of last year when the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles. What's your favorite Super Bowl highlight? I dropped mine today in the text thread. I love that 1984 49ers documentary. I think John Facenda had just left. His last production he did was the 83 Raiders when they dismantled the Washington Redskins. Ken Law shut down John Riggins and they destroyed the Redskins and they handed Joe Theismann butt on the plate and the plate was broke. I can't remember who actually narrated that one, but I like the 15-1 1984 49ers. That's the best documentary I've seen as far as how a Super Bowl team totally annihilated Dan Marino. They went nickel. And the the Marx Brothers, they had never seen it. And they was just too fast. And if you look at how they just broke down how they were able to dismantle Miami, it said they were running defenses from the 70s, and they had never seen a running back. That's the first Super Bowl I remember winning. And Roger Craig went hog wild. So that's mine. Give me the 1984 49ers documentary. It's called Masters of the Game. Check it out on YouTube, or if you're looking in through the old analogs of Super Bowl history and you happen to see one, that's mine. 1985, Rose Bowl Stadium. No, Stanford Stadium.
Stanford, yeah. My greatest Super Bowl memory, and I might have to piggyback off of your doc with the John Facenda. I want to bring up a little bit of history in the Super Bowl and NFL. Teams that have broken the single season scoring record have never won the Super Bowl. Never. The first team to accomplish that was the 83 Redskins. And my favorite Super Bowl Sunday was Black Sunday. Marcus Allen, 191 yards on the ground. You had interception by Jack Square, black punt by Lester, recovered by Jensen. These Raiders, man, everybody picked the Skins to get them down there in Tampa. It didn't figure that way. The season was 83. The Super Bowl was 84. Those Raiders, something else. There'll be many great teams. I'm going to say it like John Facenda. There's been many great teams. They've come from Green Bay. They've come from Pittsburgh. But none have matched the muscle and the might. The Raiders. None have. That thing. And then when John Facenda said, Marcus Allen running into the night, spoke volumes for me. Who's next?
Yeah, I remember that. That was his last show. That was his last Super Bowl. Just win, baby. That was his last That was his last production with NFL Films. The 1983 Raiders and the 1984 49ers. How about it, Juice, man? What you got?
Oh man, there's so many to choose from, man.
We didn't ask you for so many. We just want to
Hey
know
man,
which
let me
one.
talk, man. Stop interrupting me, man.
Juice Man, I need from
He didn't
you.
ask you all
Let
that.
me.
Juice.
That's for real. No, I'm
We
gonna go
didn't
ahead.
ask you for all
I'm a-
6 Super. We didn't
Hey,
ask you
man,
for all
let me
6
talk,
Super
man.
Bowl highlights.
Super Bowl 13.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and be quick, man.
10 or 13, Juice. 10 or 13. Which Super Bowl? 10 or 13?
10 or 13. Oh.
Which one? Hopefully you say 10.
Nah, man, I'm actually gonna go with.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now, the Super Bowl 10 and 13, I would say my vote, I would go 13 just because Dallas was
I
trying
would
to
go
come
10
back.
because of squad. I go
Yeah.
10 because of squad.
I would go 13, and then you got to remember Jackie Smith dropped the ball. Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier,
Guy in the world.
Yeah.
Hollywood Henderson. He strips Terry.
Hey
It was
man,
just a
y'all
lot
gonna
of
let
good
Juice say what he
narration
want
in
to
that
say?
one.
Hey man, Juice, don't say
I'm
what you got.
I'm gonna give this one a close second, man. Super Bowl 43, Steelers and Cardinals. I thought the Steelers
All
were
right,
gonna
San
lose to the,
Antonio. San
Okay.
I
Antonio.
thought the Steelers were gonna lose to the freaking Cardinals, man. But
Nah.
Big
hell.
Ben threw a dart in the corner of the end zone to Santonio Holmes, and then James Harrison's interception
Yeah,
before
that did.
halftime.
Okay.
I got to put that in there too.
That was a good production.
Hey,
That was a good one too. All right, we just gonna
I got
skip
you
over
too,
Big
real
E
quick.
because we don't want to
No,
hear
hold
anything
on,
about
hold
the
on.
Dallas
Hey, we don't want to
Cowboys.
hear nothing about them Cowboys.
See,
Super Bowl.
and that's where y'all messing up because that wasn't
All
even
right,
gonna be what I
ladies and
said.
gentlemen, that'll wrap
Hold on,
up
Yeah.
hold
for
on.
tonight.
Let
We'll
me
catch
throw this
up.
nugget out here real
Got
quick.
it.
See,
Y'all gonna do
What
me
you got?
hey, see, and I wasn't even picking the Cowboy situation, and I'm
What you
gonna
got?
be honest with you, Juice Man, when he brought up that San Antonio Holmes, that was one of my moments. That one, and this one's gonna surprise you, the David Tyree catch.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
David Tyree catch.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a catch.
That's a good one.
A heck of a catch.
Hmm
A hell of a catch, Juice Man.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Anytime you can see them Patriots get busted, I'm all for
Yeah.
that.
Yes, sir.
Well, I
Yes,
guess
sir.
that
You
means
got to know it. So, well,
yeah.
we got it. I mean, that's
Dre
a
don't
wrap,
get,
man.
Coach Hurd don't get to drop his. That's how y'all gonna do it? Y'all
Oh,
gonna
I
play
thought
it
you
like that?
went. Oh,
Nah,
no. I
y'all.
thought you would.
So
No,
so
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna make it
I
real
thought
quick
you
for
had
y'all.
Oh,
All I'm gonna
no.
say is most valuable player in 1986
Phil Simms.
played defense.
Lawrence
So
Taylor.
what? So what? You
Taylor.
taking Super Bowl 21?
The 86 Giants.
Okay, Phil Simms had the highest completion percentage in a Super Bowl. That's Phil Simms. Lawrence Taylor did not win MVP of that Super Bowl. That's
You
that
sure?
was Phil Simms.
Yeah, Phil Simms
Oh.
won that. Lawrence Taylor. That was a pretty good film. I
Let me
like
tell you
that.
something. Phil
14
Simms,
and 2.
Phil Simms only threw 2 incomplete passes.
Okay.
14 and 2.
Wow.
What that tell you?
14 and 2.
Impressive.
Crushed the 49ers.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait, what?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
beat the brakes out the 49ers, bro.
Not in the Super Bowl.
No.
Oh, okay.
On the road to the Super Bowl. My fault.
On the road to the Super Bowl, they beat the San Francisco 49ers 49-3. They had a first round bye because they had the best record in the NFL. And then I think, wait a minute, this is 80. We're talking 86, right?
86, yeah.
Yeah, the 86
No.
Giants.
86 Giants. Hold
Yeah.
on.
They got the Giant. They got the Redskins.
Okay, there we go.
Jay
Yeah, they
Schrader.
beat. Yeah,
Remember Dre
that's right,
Schrader waved off Doug Williams.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They beat Washington 17-0. I
17
remember
to
watching
nothing.
it. I remember watching that
17-3.
NFC. I remember watching that NFC Championship game against Washington. Washington kept punting the ball, and the ball never went
And they
anywhere.
ended up beating the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
And they
Remember the
ended up beating
wind was
the Broncos.
swirling, Doc? Remember the
The wind
wind?
was swirling. Yeah, the
The
wind was
wind was
swirling. I remember
high
that.
as hell.
That was a real good team. Banks and the Gatorade dump on Parcells. That was a real good team. That was a real good team. They were Lawrence Taylor, Banks, Gary Reasons, Leonard Marshall, that whole defensive bunch. They got out there. Joe Morris, Mark Navarro, Phil McConkey, Stephen
Pepper
Baker,
Pepper Johnson.
Pepper Johnson. Now, I think Pepper Johnson didn't show up to 90. But either or, that was a good line back and forth. That's it, fellas. I mean, it just seemed like I was about to say before I mistakenly skipped over King Drake. That's it, man. Football season is a wrap, man. Time flies, man.
Not so fast. Not so fast, Doc. We have a merger with the XFL and the USFL. Not so fast. Football ain't going nowhere.
I'm actually excited about that. I think that's going to be
but I think it's going to be nice.
I think it's going to be nice. I think it's going to be like the G League for the NFL.
Big E, right?
Probably with a little bit more height.
The G League, Big E.
I'm excited for it too.
I'm saying that in the sense of they don't really have a lot of ways for players to go pro to get to the NFL. This is a pathway. Like you see people pulling people from the G League, moving them up, moving them down all the time. I think essentially the USFL XFL merger could be something like that for the NFL.
It should be.
It should be. You know what I'm saying? There's too many kids out there that need opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the perfect outlet for that to happen. You know,
definitely.
So
I'm excited for it too. I think it was me and Greasy. We said give it if they take their time and they market it, the XFL and USFL right. By the time we're about ready to sit down and then, we'll be enjoying our golden years by then. But you're going to see another merger. We'll have a true one. The NFL is going to swallow that league too.
Here's why I think they will, because this is a pathway. Because you know how the NFL wants to expand. You can use that XFL and USFL merger to go overseas and make that a pathway to the NFL, and then that's how you end up landing a true professional team overseas for them to play. So I think that's in the cards, and I think this is that pathway to it.
So pretty soon we'll have a NFL team in London, because they like to go.
We're gonna have an NFL. We'll either one or two things. We'll have an NFL team in London, which I think would be difficult to pull off just because of the time frames. But I do know we're going to have more NFL teams. One thing we like is our football. And what's better than football? More football. So we can
I think the first one will be Mexico City.
Find out a way to turn football into when does it start?
Year round?
Until March or April. Yeah, with more teams and more money. Yeah, we're going to find a way to do that. But I can see it coming. I can see basically another Joe Namath, some dude, some hot shot from the USFL or whatever the league they got going over there. Hey, we're going to beat them dudes in the NFL. I can see it coming. It's already lining up for it. If they play the cards right, if they don't get greedy like Donald Trump did, small potatoes, ESPN 30 for 30, and try to take on the NFL when they clearly was not ready, you can see the USFL and the
AFL, AFL
together, AFL, and trying to make that thing happen at a merger. So, or they could keep it separate. I mean, if they can grow their brand and just leave it alone, we can just watch football all year round. But with that being said, we really got to slide up out of here. We got basketball season. It's right around the corner.
He had a point.
And
what's that?
Football season is over, man.
I think he wanted to add something to what you were saying, Doc.
No, we straight.
Okay. Come on, Doc.
It just time flies. Time flies by entirely too fast. It's February, people.
Mm-hmm.
It is February, and we was just doing our conference championships and conference preview shows and all that. And we gotta get up out of here. Like next week, we'll be back and we'll recap whatever happened in the Super Bowl, and we're gonna push on and we're gonna get to this NBA All-Star game. They went back to East and West. Boring. The NBA's got a major problem. They got a big problem.
They're boring.
I love basketball, but this product sucks.
Doc, you said funny how time flies.
Hot God.
The NBA is horrible. It is terrible. I can't.
Doc, man. Close us out, man. We'll be all night if we get to talk about how trash the NBA is, boy.
Got a little music for y'all.
Yeah, go ahead and close us out, man. And the NBA is bad, and we're gonna talk about the boy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel you with that, Janet boy. Oh yeah.
NBA is bad. NBA is bad. It's been a pleasure being back. It's been a pleasure chopping up with everybody, the fellas on the 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna get back to chopping this thing up for y'all, man. We're gonna get back on that audio thing, man. It's been a blast, but yeah, we're back in Studio 5 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dr. Producer, Coach Herb, Juice Man, Big E, Greasy the Dog. We back in this thing. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all don't be afraid to share this video, like this video, tell your friends about it. But yeah, that's a wrap. Super Bowl Sunday. Y'all enjoy that. Just Know Sports Show, and we will holler.